Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I was just thinking about some goals that I have when I get back to the United States. One thing I noticed during my time here in Taiwan is that I'm staying in a hostel in Tom Sui, right? And I find that when I'm interacting with people here, I'm much more willing to take risk because I'm only here for 2 weeks. Whatever happens in Taiwan can stay in Taiwan. But I also noticed one other thing, though. With all the risks that I'm taking, making moves on girls that I would never think about back home in the United States, doing things that has potential to embarrass myself, none of that risk has played badly. Sure, I didn't get every girl that I talked to respond to me, but none of it has blown up in my face in any way. And it made me reflect on how much level of risk I'm comfortable taking when I get back to the United States. What do I mean by risk? For example, at my job, there are certain times when I could have set boundaries that I didn't because I didn't want to disturb the peace of what I was doing, right? I got a steady situation going on, and I don't want to risk toppling everything over just to ask for that whatever thing that I need to, right? That too many times at work that happens. I missed out on quite a number. Earlier today, or yesterday, I was alluding to a misconnection 23 years ago. But that wasn't, between then and now, I've had many, many other misconnections as well, in large part because I wasn't willing to take the risk. Right, I could have just as easily at the time asked for her phone number, or say, hey, I'm going to be checking out of here soon. Do you want to continue networking, right? And even if she had said no, that would have closed everything off, right? That wouldn't have left everything up in the air 23 years later, right? And I wonder. I was just thinking about this last night. Maybe I'll find her and end up getting to know her daughter. Right? It's been so long, right? Or I don't find her, but in the meantime, I talk to the people at the county or go on a television show and network with other people instead, and that could be the legacy of her, right? That's how long it has been, right? But that wasn't the only time. I had another situation at a meetup group, actually, just a year ago. I missed out on a chance of networking with somebody. What had happened was that I was at a board game meetup. I was playing Ticket to Ride with one group of people, and this guy really upset me. I have food allergies. He should have known about it, and he decided he needed to get his greasy food all over his board game. It was a Ticket to Ride, and it was his set, so I didn't really want to argue with him. I stood up and apologized to the group. Hey, I have food allergies. This isn't going to work very well. Thank you very much. And it was at that moment in time I realized that the reason he wanted to get his food everywhere was because he didn't want to play with me. He was like, okay, goodbye. And I went to this other group, and this girl had witnessed the whole thing, and she was really upset for me. And she said, you know what, I understand. And she proceeded to show me a device she had on her arm and said, you know what, I don't want to say the condition here, I have some health conditions too, so I understand. And I missed out on a chance to make a move with her because I was so consumed by her condition. She has a chronic health condition. I hate to say what, because I'm not against it anymore. At the time, I was juggling 2 jobs in my art career. I didn't want to deal with potentially networking with somebody who had other things to attend to as well. But that was wrong of me. That was hypocritical. After I had just walked away because I had a chronic health condition as well. But I get so consumed with not wanting to rock boats, and I think the biggest danger with not wanting to rock the boat is that the boat may be sailing to somewhere that you don't want to. It may be sailing toward an iceberg, and you still don't want to rock it, right? I think that's the biggest danger now. And I'm going to have to think hard about taking more risk in my life. I've already started to do so, actually. I'm negotiating a contract at a community college, and I decided to take a little bit more risk with this negotiation, in large part because I'm teaching at 2 different colleges. They're a very far commute. I didn't want one of them, I didn't necessarily need 2 of them, and so I threw caution to the wind while I was negotiating the second one, and it turned out very well, actually. And it just goes to show how much money, time, love, connection I left on the table in times past because I wasn't willing to make myself uncomfortable for a couple of seconds. Now, the other day, I was negotiating another contract. I do tutoring, and well, this was a few months ago now. I was negotiating the contract, and I got a little bit better deal than I would have. And then it dawned on me. I spent 10 minutes organizing what I was going to say, and I ended up getting paid $3 more per hour. And when I multiplied by how many hours I was going to get that contract, for that 20 minutes of negotiation, I made like at least $100, right? That's like $300 an hour. I made more than a doctor or a lawyer might make in an hour. Granted, I only got to work for 20 minutes, but I made money at a better rate than a lot of doctors and lawyers for that 20 minutes, right? And it just goes to show how much good stuff I left. Not only good stuff, but also I left a lot of capital. Like when I negotiate like this, people know not to mess with me, right? So, for example, I've learned. I used to be afraid of taking time off of work, even more so now because they have this discretionary time off policy. It's not really discretionary; it's a guilt trip time off, right? And I've learned that take the time off, but keep it simple. I got a family matter to tend to, period. Right? Not, it would be nice to I just got this date going on. Oh, there's a solar eclipse. No. Family. The moon and the sun, that's part of our family, right? Well, I don't know. They're not living things, but all life on Earth is family. So even if you take time off to tend to your pets, that's also your family, right? Or not even tend to your pets, but to tend to the trees out here. Oh, that's family, right? And so I got some family matters to tend to, and then you send the email. You don't go on to elaborate. You don't ask for permission. You say, I got a family matter on Thursday. Let me know if there's anything I could do to make sure our substitutes. You lead the conversation. You don't allow somebody else to take control of that conversation. And if it's a problem, they'll tell you it's a problem. You don't need to ask if there's a problem, right? What can I do to make the transition smooth, right? But I've learned to do that because by taking time off, you become a human again, right? Only a robot would hesitate about shutting down, right? Even a robot doesn't hesitate. Windows doesn't hesitate when it needs to update stuff, right? It closes your programs without your consent all the time, right? And so you need to be even smarter than Windows, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.